You're still arguing with someone who left hours ago. You are lying here now, the room dark, the day technically over, and yet some part of you is still in that one exchange where someone was careless with you or unfair or simply wrong in a way you have not been able to put down. You are rehearsing what you should have said. You are building the case again, brick by brick, as if winning it in the dark tonight would change anything that happened in the light. And while you do this, the person you're arguing with is asleep, untouched, free of the whole thing. So let this be the place we set something heavy down. Not the truth of what happened, which is yours to keep, but the carrying of it into the night. The way a grudge held overnight does not punish the one it is aimed at. It only poisons the sleep of the one who holds it. The resentment costs you the rest, and it costs them nothing at all. There's an old practice for exactly this hour, kept for centuries in the Jewish tradition, in the prayer said at the very edge of sleep. The bedtime Shema includes, among its lines, a deliberate act of forgiveness, a moment in which the one praying says before God and before sleep that they forgive anyone who wronged them or angered them or hurt them that day, whether against their body or their honor or anything that was theirs. Notice what is being done there. It is not a feeling that descends on its own. It is a decision made on purpose at the threshold of the dark, so that the heart is not held hostage through the night by a wound the day already inflicted. The tradition understood something we keep forgetting. The grudge does its real damage not in the moment it is earned, but in all the hours afterward that we let it stay. The teacher Sharon Salzberg has spent her life on a practice that points the same direction, the old discipline of loving kindness, of turning a deliberate goodwill first toward yourself, then outward, and eventually even toward the person you would least like to wish well. Her point, as she frames it, is often misunderstood. To turn kindness toward the one who wronged you is not to say that what they did was acceptable, and it is not to excuse them, and it is not to pretend the harm was nothing. It is something far more self-interested. It is to loosen, finger by finger, your own grip on the resentment, because the resentment was never holding them. It was holding you. The grudge is a rope you tie to another person and then wonder why your own hands are raw. And there is a quieter teaching still from the Buddhist nun Pema Chodron about how anger survives the night. She has written, in her own way, about the story we keep retelling ourselves, the looped narrative that keeps the fire fed. The raw feeling, she suggests, is brief. The sting of the moment passes through quickly if we let it. What lasts is the story we build on top of it, the case we rehearse, the script we run again and again until a passing hurt has hardened into a permanent grievance we carry like a stone. Her instruction is gentle and exact. Let the raw feeling move through you without making it the seed of a story. Feel it and let it pass, rather than solidifying it into something you will still be carrying long after you have forgotten what was even said. So look at what these three are saying across very different traditions. The bedtime prayer, the loving kindness, the unwritten story, all pointing at the same small, difficult act done at the same hour. Set it down before the dark, not because they deserve it, because you deserve to sleep. And there is a harder forgiveness hiding underneath the obvious one. Because the person you're most likely lying here arguing with is not the colleague or the stranger or the one who was careless with you. It is yourself. The grudge that follows you most stubbornly into bed is the one you hold against your own conduct, the thing you said too sharply, the way you handled it, the version of you that showed up today and fell short of the one you meant to be. That resentment, too, is a rope, and you have tied both ends of it to the same person. Turn the same mercy there. Not the false mercy that pretends you did nothing wrong, but the true kind that says you are a finite person who had a hard day and did not get all of it right, and that holding yourself hostage through the night will not undo a single word of it. The morning is where amends are made, if amends are owed. The night is only for setting down the weight, so you can carry it well tomorrow. You cannot fix anything from here. You can only refuse to let it keep you awake. So tonight, before the dark closes over, let it go. I forgive the one who wronged me today, not to excuse them, but to free my own sleep. I set down the case I have been rehearsing, knowing it changes nothing in the dark. I let the raw feeling move through me, and I refuse to build it into a story I carry. I forgive myself for the day I did not get entirely right. I loosen my grip on the resentment, finger by finger, because it was only ever holding me. I lay the heavy thing down here at the edge of sleep, and I leave it for the night to keep. So let the grudge go quiet now, the way a fist goes quiet when it finally remembers it does not have to stay clenched. And let the day's small wars end where they actually ended hours ago, in rooms you have already left, while the one you were arguing with sleeps untroubled and you at last are allowed to do the same. Setting the heavy thing down not because the hurt was nothing, but because carrying it overnight only ever cost you and never them. Forgiving the careless one and the unfair one. And, hardest of all, forgiving the version of yourself that fell short today, loosening your fingers from the rope one by one until your hands are your own again, free to rest open in the dark. For the night clears from the mind what should not stay in it, just as the morning, in its own companion hour, chooses with care what is allowed to enter, the slow and unhurried reading the old monks called Lectio Divina. The first hour naval Ravikant says belongs to you alone before the world can lay. Its claim, the peak that Daniel Pink would have you guard for what matters most, so that the day fills the mind on purpose and the night empties it on purpose. And between the two you are kept whole, holding nothing tonight but the quiet knowledge that everything heavy has been set down and rest. Begin disciplined and reflective.